What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the uncrowned Otaku. Back at it again. Latest chapter Solo Leveling came out, so you know I had to hit you with that hotness. My man Sung Jin Woo. This ain't really about him. He's in it, but we're gonna get to him a little later. That was a moment of silence for that national rank hunter Christopher Red. Your homegirl tried to warn you. She told you, get bodyguards, get security, go holler at your boy Sung Jin Woo, because you're gonna die. I've predicted it, I've foreseen it. And homie knew she was a psychic before all this whole power thing happened. But we learned a lot from this chapter. A lot. Now, it's not spelled out completely right in front of you, but if you pay attention, there's little details and little innuendos and stuff that was input that let you know what's actually happening. And if you think about the past, you can kind of piece it all together. Let's start with the fact that Christopher Red has a national rank hunter. He had a soul manifestation, what they call a soul manifestation. He looked like one of the beings of light. And when the dude, which obviously is a monarch, the monarchs fight the beings of light. Rulers versus monarchs. When the monarch was talking, he specifically said, hush, little human, talking to the one connected to you upstairs. The rulers, just like the monarchs, they need a body. Because you already saw Sung Jin Woo went to the past. He saw what happened in the past. The monarchs and the rulers, they're not living for millions of years, clearly. Well, their spirits are. But similar to what happened with Sung Jin Woo, the architect, everybody has, what do we call those people? An apostle, I guess? A message man? Kind of like how, is it Galactus? Oh, y'all gonna tear me to shreds if I get this wrong. I think it's Galactus. Kind of like, yeah, it's like how Galactus has the Silver Surfer, a harbinger. They have a harbinger letting you know doom's coming. The architect was the harbinger for the Shadow Monarch. He did his job. The Shadow Monarch, he found a body he thought would be suitable. They leveled that body up. Shadow Monarch was supposed to possess him and team up with the rest of the monarchs. But Shadow Monarch, we learned this from the other dude. He went off the board. He decided, instead of taking over your body, you know what? Here, I like you. Use my powers. Whereas with the other people, clearly, with the because the guy that's connected above, the Christopher Red didn't even know where his powers came from. But clearly he was granted powers from the ruler, but not like how the monarchs are taking over other people's bodies. The rulers are, because I guess they're heavenly beings, kind of, so they're bestowing power to people. I don't know why. That's the X factor. Why are the rulers bestowing power and not just taking them over? They'll probably take over once they get strong enough. I guess Christopher Red wasn't strong enough. But yeah, the Shadow Monarchs, not the Shadow Monarchs, the rest of the monarchs, you can see the dude was clearly human. He was speaking monster tongue, and he had the thing in his chest with the lights. Kind of like if you go back, all the rulers have like those crazy things too. The rulers are taking over the bodies. If Sung Jin Woo wasn't cool with the Shadow Monarch to an extent, Sung Jin Woo would be gone. It would just be Shadow Monarch. And I'm also thinking that's what happened to his dad. When they said Sung Jin Woo's dad is probably the person who did it, we know it wasn't him. We know that because we saw the three people that did it. But I do believe his dad is evil right now because his dad came out of a dungeon, which means he went into some kind of ranked dungeon, experienced probably something similar to Sung Jin Woo, passed some tests, leveled up in the dungeon to the point where the monarch took over his body. That's why when he came out, he wreaked havoc on all those S-rank hunters. Maybe his dad can regain consciousness down the line, but that perfectly explains if his dad is a monarch and the monarch took over his body. That explains why he's never come home. That explains why he hasn't alerted his family. Or again, like I said, maybe he gets partial consciousness, but he can't put his family through that because he knows the monarch will take over at any second. But yeah, he's definitely involved with the monarchs. But yeah, this chapter was on so many different levels and different layers, so interesting. Because you can kind of see like the way the monarchs, and I don't know if all three fought Christopher Red, but they chopped his arm off, body was smashed, holes was blasted in him. If one person did that to him, it probably wasn't much of a fight, to be honest. And they cast a whole silent spell in this dude's mansion. Again, Christopher Red, I RIP'd him, but it's really his own fault for not heeding the girl's warning. Like, if somebody tells me I predicted you're about to die, I'd be like, okay, who do we need to get help? Where do we go? I'm yours. Man, what a good chapter. Just when you thought Solo Leveling couldn't get any better. Because honestly, it's been in a decline ever since Sung Jin Woo had got the Shadow Monarch powers. Once it was the end of that whole statue thing, because I've been waiting for him for the 100 chapters. I was waiting for him. Once he revisited, it's kind of been on a downward trend. But now, we're right back up. There's so much to do, so much to learn. Shadow Monarchs, what's happening, why they going. It looks like the Shadow Monarchs are the ones going against humanity. Not the Shadow Monarchs, I keep saying it. The Monarchs are going against humanity. Does that mean the rulers are humanity's saviors? Because it seems like, for the most part, humanity gets their powers from the rulers. I'm pretty sure, all the national rank hunters draw their powers from one of the rulers. That explains why there's not a lot of them. That explains why it's so hard to become one, because you have to level up to the point where a ruler can bestow power and maybe potentially down the line take over your body to fight the monarchs. We're going to find out what's going on, that's for sure. You know, we got a chapter of King and Omega coming tomorrow, so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And you better be hitting that like button, because you already know your boy, he uncrowned over here. The only way I'm going to get that crown is if you run that like button up. So run it TF up for your boy. But what did y'all think about the chapter? Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that social media jazz. I don't have a good sign-off, so I'm going to just do one of these. That's my new sign-off.